Welcome everyone to a chat with two of this month's Women's Net winners of the Amber Grant. Today we're speaking with Katie Brunelle and Maggie Knowles of Muse Media, who with their business partner Victoria Furman are the Amber Grant winners for March 2021. I'm Marsha Layton Turner and I'm one of the members of the Women's Net Advisory Board. So Katie and Maggie, why don't we start by just getting a little bit of background? Why don't you tell us about your company, beginning with why you started it?
Absolutely. Thank you so much talking to us, Marsha. We started actually a PR and marketing agency initially in January of 2020, and we came together with our own skills. We had a really successful restaurant opening pop-up that we came together for, and we sold 100 tickets in 5 days, and it was a huge success. So we decided to start our own company together. And I gave the full-time clients that I was working with a timeline to be done with them by March 2020. So very timely. We had our own company all right when pandemic started. And we did lose some clients that were non-essential businesses that had to shut down at the time. So we used that word, pivot. And we ended up finding a lot of people looking for production, which we also had experience with.
TV production specifically?
TV,
yes.
Commercials, YouTube channels, and local TV, absolutely. So we transitioned from Muse Relations into more of Muse Media. And that's kind of the evolution of
one of our first big commercial clients, because so many people are at home more, being in Maine, we are really lucky to have a 4-season state. So they wanted to create really great content that showed different people outside of their normal hunting, fishing group. So we brought in, women who are fly fishers and hikers. So we really worked with them to enhance their existing audience and to attract more people into the outdoors while we couldn't do anything else during the pandemic.
So what do you think has been the secret to your success so far?
We are dedicated, we have drive, we check in all the time with each other. So whatever project we're working on, everybody is all hands in. But we're also human, and we allow ourselves and our team to be human. So if, kid is sick, if, you're having an off day, our small team comes together.
We are both single moms. Well, 3 of us with Victoria, we're all single moms. So we have a family first sort of ethos, that kids are sick, we're at home, we're trying to be teachers, we're still trying to work. So if someone's having a crisis, we're not going to force them to jump on a Zoom call with us. It's, you take care of your kids, and then we'll get back together when things are calm on the home front.
Yeah, that balance really makes the work side of things work out better.
And how big is your team? They're the 3 founders, then how many other contractors and employees do you have?
We probably work with
quite a few. We have videographers, editors,
graphic
designers,
web developers. At least we've worked with like 20 other people on different projects. We do have a film crew that we are bringing with us on a couple of projects that we like to work with.
Awesome. So what made you decide to apply for an Amber Grant? Did you have a particular need? How did you find it?
Yeah, somebody recommended.
Probably a year ago was the first time we heard about you. And we've been following along. We'd actually applied a couple other times. But this project that we applied for specifically, which we can talk about in a second, we felt like we had narrowed down exactly what we needed the money for, and we had, a tangible project, something that we already knew we could accomplish and put a great product forward. And I think that's why the Amber Grant felt like a really good fit at this time.
Yeah,
and it worked out.
Yeah, awesome. So tell us about how you're going to use the $10,000 now, because you did have a very specific plan for that.
Yes. So one of the projects that we are just wrapping up right now is a local TV show. And it was the 3rd season, and they asked us to come in and help host and produce for this season only. And we quadrupled sponsorship and boosted the viewership on a Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. We have over 8,000 viewers in Maine. And so it was really successful. We get so many compliments all the time on the work that we did with that show that we were inspired to create our own show. And it's really specific. We're pretty passionate about this project because I really believe it's going to help our entire state. And with the pandemic and everything, we're really looking toward our food industry, but not just the restaurants. We want to find our farmers and our lobstermen and growers and, everyone who's actually producing that food that then goes into Maine's restaurant industry. And Maine is known for going farm to table. So we have a lot of farmers and people that we are excited to interview. Do you want to pick
So
up?
we're taking it, so it's not just a typical cooking show. I'll start interviewing one of these growers, these farmers, getting their story, really figuring out what they're passionate about, any pivots that they've had to make coming out of, this odd time in history. And so really getting into what makes their farm, whatever they do, special. And then we'll be getting some seasonal ingredients from them, taking it back to, we have an incredible award-winning local chef here who will be bringing it back into the kitchen and showing all the beautiful things that he'll do with the food. And then what we really love is that then he'll wrap up with what to do with the leftovers, because I think people are so much more aware now of waste and, being sustainable, and then having that leftover piece, I think, will be an extra fun tidbit.
And another piece is that when the chef is cooking, when it's done, we're going to gather at a table with the farmer who helped bring the food and some other local people who have something to do with the topic that we'll be discussing. So we're calling the show Grown and Gathered, because we'll be gathering at the table, and it's just going to be a really, New England, come and we'll feed you, and that's how we show we love you type of show.
Awesome.
Yeah. So the money, the grant we applied for because we wanted to get started on production, and we need to.
So we've already done our sizzle reel. We did our all of our graphic work today, and we're getting ready to do our first full 2 episodes. So yeah, thanks to you, that was able to happen pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And so is this a 30-minute show, 60-minute show?
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
30-minute show. Sounds great.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, once you get this all figured out, tell us about the future plans for your company. Where are you going to go from here?
So we have had more interest in our public relations and marketing side of things. So we're going to grow both sides of the company. Maggie's going to steer Muse Media. She's going to be our creative director, and I'll be directing the PR side. But we have so many more ideas, especially with media, that we're really excited about, and pitching even wider nationally. And yeah, we have some big plans.
Because the model of the show can be taken anywhere. I mean, every state has a beautiful story with their food, their heritage, their seasons, and then what can be done with that. So we're excited to someday take it on the road.
I could totally see that. There was a show years ago, something like Flipping Atlanta, and then they took it to Flipping Houston and Flipping wherever.
Yeah.
So you could,
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any advice for aspiring women entrepreneurs? Anything that you've learned along the way that you think might be helpful for them?
I mean, one thing, I think women tend to really give themselves a hard time if they're not doing everything 100% perfectly. And I think give yourself the permission to be good at whatever you're doing in that moment. Like we'll all go crazy and we'd never sleep if we were a perfect mom, a perfect business person, a perfect lover all the time. So allow yourself to be in the moment, whether it's 12% or 80%, and be okay with that. You're doing the best you can in that time, and let yourself be in your creative space or your parenting space or whatever that looks like, that's where you're supposed to be, and be proud of yourself, because you're amazing doing what you're doing.
You are amazing. I would say stick with it also, because there were certainly times when we thought, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Should we be applying for jobs somewhere, anything? And we really feel like we've hit our stride and it's coming together. So I would say sticking with it and believing in what you have is really important.
And being grateful, always be grateful.
We start our team meetings with gratitude every day, or not every day.
Right. Awesome. Well, Katie and Maggie, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to share your story with the Women's Net community, and congratulations on being our latest winners.
Thank you so much for being there and letting us chat with you.
Yeah.